The house stood alone, a spectre at the edge of town. Its windows, like vacant eyes, stared out from a curtain of overgrown ivy. The wood, grey and rotting, creaked in the wind. Each gust whispered forgotten secrets, tales of a troubled past. No one dared approach. Locals told stories, chilling tales of shadows moving within and voices carried on the breeze. The house was a tomb, a silent monument to something dark and terrible. The iron gates, rusted and entangled with weeds, seemed to reach out, claws desperate to keep the world away. The path, reclaimed by nature, was swallowed by encroaching grass and vines. The air hung heavy, thick with the stench of decay and the unsettling feeling of being watched. This was a place where hope died and where something else lingered. The Carter family arrived in the spring. Full of hope and excitement, they were oblivious to the darkness that awaited. John, ever the optimist, saw potential in the decaying mansion. His wife, Mary, though apprehensive, trusted his judgment. Their children, 10-year-old Emily and mischievous 7-year-old Ethan, were enthralled by the sheer size of their new home. The house, however, seemed to recoil at their presence. The first few days were filled with the chaos of unpacking and settling in. John, ever enthusiastic, threw himself into the restoration project. Mary busied herself with making the house feel like a home. The children, meanwhile, explored their new domain, their laughter echoing through the empty halls. But beneath the surface of normalcy, a subtle unease began to creep in, symptoms disappearing only to reappear in odd places. John dismissed it as old house settling. Mary, however, felt a growing sense of dread. Her dreams were plagued by shadowy figures and a feeling of being watched. Her unease was contagious. Emily, sensitive and imaginative, started talking about imaginary friends, friends with chilling names like Silas and the Lady in White. Ethan, initially fearless, grew increasingly agitated, refusing to be alone, especially in the shadows that seemed to stretch further each night. The laughter that once filled the house was replaced by a palpable tension. 4. Trapped in terror. The events escalated quickly. One evening, while the family dined, the lights flickered and died, plunging the house into darkness. A bone-chilling scream pierced the air, followed by the sound of shattering glass from upstairs. Rushing to investigate, John found Emily cowering in a corner of her room, a mirror lying shattered on the floor, reflecting nothing but a swirling vortex of shadows. Terror choked Mary's voice as she clutched Ethan, his small body trembling. John, his face pale, tried to rationalize the events, but deep down a seed of doubt had been sown. He called an electrician, a plumber, anyone who could explain the increasingly bizarre occurrences, but no one could offer a logical explanation. The house was closing in, a malevolent entity toying with its prey. Raged outside, mirroring the terror that gripped the Carter family inside. Rain lashed against the windows as if trying to claw its way in. The wind howled, a chorus of tormented souls. John, his bravado finally shattered, decided they had to leave. But as he went to gather his family, the floorboards beneath him gave way, sending him plunging into the darkness below. Mary's screams echoed through the house as she rushed to the gaping hole where the floor had been. Peering into the abyss, she saw nothing but swirling shadows and heard only the faint echo of her husband's cries. Suddenly, Ethan, drawn by some unseen force, walked towards the edge. Mary's hand shot out, grasping his arm just as he reached the precipice. The house still stands, a desolate monument to the unseen forces that reside within. Some say Mary escaped with her children, forever scarred by their ordeal. Others whisper that their souls remain trapped within those walls, forever bound to the house that claimed them. The truth, like the house itself, remains shrouded in darkness. A chilling reminder that some doors are best left unopened, some secrets are better left buried, and some houses hold a darkness